I mean, I haven't really looked at crotches a lot, but
I gotta be honest.
no,
It sounds like it sounds like you may have. Cyber Andy, what's happening, my friend?
hey, how's it going?
Good, good.
I think yoga pants on women should be illegal against the law, and I was wondering if you'd be willing to take the other side on this argument and maybe debate me, or if you agree with me.
I could debate you on this, but I'm probably closer to agreeing with you than you would think. I don't think it should be against the law, but I don't think yoga pants are pants. And I think that oftentimes you see fucking people parading around the supermarket and shit in yoga pants, and I find it basically to be unacceptable. Now, I don't think that it should be illegal. And I mean this, man, because it's not just adult. For adults, it's one thing. Like, but you'll see like fucking kids running around with like these yoga pants on and shit. And I'm like, I don't know about this shit.
Uh,
I think that it's fucking like, for me, it's a little icky, you know? So it's sort of a humorous topic, but I say this shit all the time. Like, I'll constantly, I'll die. I'm like, yoga pants aren't fucking pants. Put a pair of real pants on. You can wear yoga pants under your pants. You can wear yoga pants under your shorts or under your fucking like leggings or something. But they're more akin to leggings than they are to pants. I used to have to wear like when I played football in high school that you'd wear like the spandex if it's like snowing out. I wouldn't wear
yeah,
those fuckers around like just pants though. They were basically
you'd
undergarments.
you'd be arrested for in Florida obscenity or some sort of illegal exposure of your genitals law. Um, so yeah, I agree with you.
But I think that they shouldn't be illegal. Like I put it in the same category as like people that are wearing like Daisy Dukes around with like half like the bottom of their ass cheeks hanging out. I'm like, I think it's fucking shouldn't be done, right? For me, it's like, there's a time and a place for shit like that. But at the local grocery
Right.
store where I'm walking around with my kid, I don't know, seems fucked up to me. But I'm not saying it should be illegal. I'm just like, why would you do that? Why would you leave your fucking kids wear
So
shit like that? You know?
if a man wore the Daisy Dukes with their butts hanging out and their bulge showing, I don't know how graphic I'm allowed to be on YouTube. I don't want to get you in trouble. I'll try my best to keep it PG-13. Um, that's illegal, isn't it? You'd be
Well,
arrested for.
it de- it depends. Like one of my favorite people was the lead singer for Motorhead. His name was Lemmy, and Lemmy used to hang out at this bar called the Rainbow. And if you ever see a picture of Lemmy at the Rainbow, right, he was wearing like fucking Daisy Dukes every day. And you're like, here's this fucking dude, like this icon of metal, like Lemmy Kilmister, the fucking man, and he's wearing Daisy Dukes with fucking cowboy boots and to be honest, it's not a look I would ever go for, but I'm not going to question Lemmy, and I don't think anyone was arresting him. So,
it's a
but
private
he's in a
venue, right?
well, I'm sure he walked down the sidewalk to get there. But yeah, I don't think that unless your genitals are hanging out, I don't think it's going to be illegal.
It's not going to be illegal for a man to wear that
No,
in Florida.
I mean, I don't think so. I can't specifically say Florida unless I'm unaware, but it is my strong opinion that no, it's not illegal to wear. I'd be open to seeing the law or to seeing someone who got arrested as a guy wearing Daisy Dukes in Florida, but I'm guessing that no, it's not illegal. Would be my strong guess. But is anyone else from Florida in here in the chat right now that could
I
verify
should.
it or spends time in Florida? I don't think, nor do I want it to be illegal, just to be clear. But
Why not?
because people can make risque choices that I don't like, that I don't want the government to enforce upon just because it's something that I find grotesque that should be enforced upon them. I mean, if that was the case, there's plenty of shit, right? Like, I think it should be illegal to play fucking shitbag rap music that's cursing and swearing when you're going down the street, right? But I
So,
don't think that's illegal. I just find it to be distasteful. That's the way I look at it.
I
Do you
don't know
think it
which
should?
directions it.
Do you think it should be illegal for me to walk down the street with my shirt off, as a man?
No,
Okay. What length of short should I be allowed to wear before it's illegal? Like my genitals
I
aren't
mean
hanging out.
it should cover your sexual organs and
I agree with that.
your buttocks and
So
things like that.
any little amount of butt cheek hanging out, you're like,
That should be illegal.
okay. Well, I'm just saying. I don't know. I've been to Florida when I was like 12 years old, but correct me if I'm wrong. A big part of Florida is like beach culture,
Yeah,
and it's not
beaches,
just
yeah.
that people are on the beach. Like I've seen videos of, like people in Miami and shit, and they're walking around pretty scantily clothed around the hot city
Yeah.
of Miami. So I'm skeptical that male Daisy Dukes are illegal. It's just I'm
Right, they should
skeptical of
be
that.
though.
I don't know that. Do you think that, like, for example, a woman's in a bikini, she walks off the beach onto the boardwalk into a shop, that should be illegal as soon as she gets foot off sand?
The thong bikini, yes. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it
You,
should
you
be.
should not be in public. It's obscene and it's
What about the people that, like, you see like gangsters that their pants are too low? Should that be illegal?
if I can see the crack of their buttocks, then yes, that should be illegal.
What
And they
about
should be
I go over to
arrested.
my friend's house and I'm working on, something on his house and my ass cheeks hanging out from my jeans? What's the law on that? You see how this quickly
Right.
runs afoul?
Intent comes into play. You bend over too much and your pants fall down. I deal with that every day.
Yes, but I mean, come on, you see the problem now that we're getting into intent. Now you're creating a law that's really right. It's like, okay, so law enforcement then's going to have discretion to be like, well, I think this guy intended for his ass cheek to hang out. I didn't. You pull over some guy that is wearing a Tupac shirt with his pants halfway around his ass, and they're like, no, officer, they just fell. I was just running and blah blah blah. Think of the fucking legal ramifications of this, of like having a prosecutor to have to argue in court. Officer, I think that guy, a kid's pants where I could slightly see his ass crack, was intending for me to see his ass crack. I mean, it just seems like much ado about nothing. I think it's enough for me
No,
and
it's-
my family to
It's
say,
nothing.
well, I think it is, because I think that if they want to be degenerates, if people want to be degenerates like that, as long as their sexual organs are covered, I say fine. Let them. I
They're
will try
not.
to
You
avoid.
can
What's
you
it?
can see the outline of the labia with yoga pants on.
Nonetheless, I don't have to like it. I don't think that I want to see the government come in and, you know, make something like that illegal. I
So
think that the ramifications.
can a man sit at a park naked
No,
while there's little children around?
no. We already
Why?
said that genitals have to be covered.
All right, then let him cover them and be
I don't
skin
think that-
tight,
I don't-
bicycle rider type pants.
Right. I don't think that we
And
should
let's say
make.
he has an erection. Is he allowed to sit at the park?
Yes. Are you suggesting that bicyclists should not be allowed to wear? It should be illegal for bicyclists to wear what they wear?
No, I'm sorry, I dropped my piece of paper.
So,
I am creating a hypothetical just to see where you're coming from.
but that hypothetical
say-
fits right in line with what you're suggesting, right? Which is anything that you can see the outline of any sexual organ should also be illegal. Okay. If
Yeah.
you are wearing like lycra or whatever the fuck bicycle, I don't know if this
I
will
don't know what
surprise
they
you, but I'm
wear.
not really a cyclist, right?
Me
Whatever
neither.
the fucking whatever they're wearing, lycra or something, theoretically you could see a bulge or whatever if they had it. So that should be illegal. If you're, is this like is this some sort of law where
should.
guys that aren't as well endowed are able to wear bicycle pants, but if you're more well endowed, you can't
No.
wear bicycle pants?
I mean, a small penis, you can still see the little bulge.
But less likely, right?
I mean, I haven't really looked at crotches a lot, but
I gotta be honest.
No,
It sounds like it sounds like you may have. I'm just saying. But you see the problem, right? Like, okay, so we say,
don't.
okay, so then yes or no? Would you allow bicyclists to wear what they're wearing? If hypothetically, when they get off the bike and they're standing, you can't really see when they're bent over bicycling, but when they get off the bike and they're standing, you can see a little bit of bulge. You would say that should be illegal.
yes,
Okay.
In
same
public.
would be true of like leather pants.
not sure. Can you see sexual organs through leather pants? It's not the same material.
What if you?
The
How about this?
spandex thing is
What if
skin
a man
tight.
is endowed enough that you could tell that there is a bulge while they're wearing jeans? Should they then have to wear something looser? Those jeans are too tight.
No, no, it's different because
Right.
the intention with yoga pants is to expose these areas of your body that are intimate and only should be seen by your,
So you don't think
husband.
a guy could wear skinny
The
jeans
intention of
knowing that his
jeans.
bulge would show? You don't think that there could be a guy with the intent to do that?
Well, if someone is going around in public with a massively visual, like, erection in the grocery store or something intentionally, then yes, that should be illegal too.
I just don't. I mean, again, we're getting into questions of that. I do not, despite the fact my tongue-in-cheek sort of criticism of yoga pants, which if it was me, I wouldn't want my family rolling around in yoga pants, shit like that. If I had a daughter or I guess a son, I wouldn't want that. I think that probably the primary reason people wear yoga pants isn't necessarily to show off sexually. Now, there is a certain extent that I
Really?
think, yes, I think that oftentimes it's probably because people the people I know in my life that are wearing yoga pants that are like, 55-year-old ladies, 60-year-old ladies, I think they'd say, they're very comfortable. That's why I'm wearing them. Much like you may
Really?
wear sweatpants. If I wear sweatpants and theoretically you could see a bulge, I assure you I was not wearing those pants so that you could see a bulge. I was wearing those pants because they were warm enough outside and they were comfortable. Normally, I wear around the house, I wear gym shorts. That's what I'm wearing now. If it's not, it has nothing to do with, oh, I want you to see part of my leg. It's because they're comfortable. That's why I'm wearing them. Now, it is true, particularly with women, but I assume some with men as well, at least some men, that you're dressing to be appealing somewhat to people of the opposite sex. I think that's true. Most people don't want to put off, hey, I'm ugly. They're somewhat thinking of their appearance. That's why you want, to some extent, that's why you wash your hair or you put your hair up or, you wear cologne in addition to just deodorant. Everybody's trying to put off somewhat of a positive image, but that's different than overt sexuality. Like that's different than like I'm walking naked.
Okay, so if you have a pair of pants and you know that your penis shows through those pants,
Uh-huh.
would you intentionally wear these pants to the grocery store?
I would not.
Okay.
But that's a
So
different question as to whether it should be illegal.
we're getting there. So women know that yoga pants show off very intimate parts of their bodies, right? They know this, like they look in a mirror, right? Like they know this. It's not like, oh, I had no idea that you could see the outline of my labia in these yoga pants. They know this and they intentionally go in public where people are not expecting to see such a thing. Like at the beach, yeah, you're going to see butts and the outline of breasts and things.
So okay, so
But when you go to the grocery store, you're not expecting to see these pornographic images.
is the
And
beach
women
public property?
intentionally go there. Yeah, most of them are. Yeah, I
So
mean,
then
I'm
we
not gonna.
so are I don't know. Are there laws like this that aren't like sort of don't have glass bottles on the beach type? Are there any laws on the books
What?
that are like in some public areas this is what you're allowed to wear and in other public areas you're not? I don't know, maybe there are. Or are you proposing that this would be a law that's the first of its kind?
There are obscenity laws, and what's it called? Public indecence.
Yeah, right. But
Um,
public indecency law would apply, I think, equally to any public property. It wouldn't make exceptions. I think that the public decency laws are going to say something like your genitals have to be covered up, right? Not that your genitals have to be covered up with fabric that is loose enough that a person who is staring intently can't see the outline of your labia.
you're sneaking that in there,
I'm
staring
not.
intently.
I am being a little bit.
Mm, yeah,
Uh,
you're. It's
but I mean,
okay.
you see the point.
No, you just glance and you see it, and you might even be looking for a can of soup at the lower level of the shelf, and a woman walks by. You didn't know that she was going to walk by, and then you see it, and you're like, "Whoa, what the heck?"
I don't know. Most of the time, I think that you have
It's
more of a
a
case for a butt that you're able to see butt. I don't. I don't like. I think you'd have to really be at an angle to try to see the
no,
outline of a
it's
labia.
there used to be a store called Books a Million that sold books. And one time I was in there, this has actually happened to me. I was looking like at the books at like a lower level, medium to lower level, and a woman came by in yoga pants. I could literally see the labia and the things. Um,
I mean, I
and
don't look.
asked to
Turn
see it.
your head real close,
I
quick.
asked because she like passed through my vision where I was looking, and that's some sort of assault on my brain. I didn't want that to be put into my brain.
I
Um,
mean, I don't know what to say. I guess your option's to leave. I mean, there are all sorts of things that I don't want to be put in my brain, but that I don't think that the government should outlaw. Again, I don't want it to be put in my brain fucking half the rap music that I hear or the pop music that I hear. I don't want it to
right.
be put in my brain half the fucking stupid people I hear. And I don't think that then we should say, well, then because it offends me, that it should be made illegal. I do think there's a place for decency laws, and I think those laws should extend to the point where we say you have to be covered up. I don't have to like the fact that some people cover up in clothing, whether it be to be overtly sexual or because it's comfortable, in ways that actually, uh, can be more revealing than others, but if it's covered up, it's covered up. That's the standard that I'm going to use. If it's an article of clothing that is coming up the genitals, I say, okay, we probably shouldn't make a law to ban it. If I have a private business and someone comes in a way that I think is too sexualized, I absolutely would be like, I don't want you here. I don't want to see it. I don't want my patrons seeing this. But as far as it comes as to public areas but you were in a bookstore, I assume that is a private bookstore, right?
Yes, it was. It
If
was
they
a
don't have a
business.
problem with it and you do, you should leave.
All right. So I guess for now I will cede the argument and let you wrap up. But I just had one question. So at what point would you say in public is indecent? Like, is a woman walking around with no top on indecent? Or, like, at what point on the scale, do you draw the line?
I think there's two things. There's my personal definition of what would be indecent, and then there is what the legal definition. For me, I see things all the time. As I said, I see kids, a 12 or 13-year-old that's wearing a low cut shirt or is wearing super tight pants that I find to be inappropriate. I don't know that it should be illegal. I see women or guys that are wearing shit that I'm like, I don't know that is appropriate. I don't find that to be indecent. That's different than what I think the legal definition of indecency should be. What my personal definition is, it's hard to put in a lot of it. It's just when you see it. But I would say if I had to put it into words as a general concept as much as possible, it would be where there's too much accentuation of the genitals, be it male or female, or of the breast with female. But they would have to, what too much means is going to be very subjective. There could be some very classy dresses that show bust that you might say, man, you're seeing a lot of that lady's bust there. I personally think that's a little too revealing, but I don't know that I would call that the level of indecency. But for me personally, each of us is going to have to determine subjectively when we think it crosses the threshold from just slightly revealing to indecent. However, when it comes to the legal system, I think that because it can't be that subjective, that we need some clear benchmarks. And those clear benchmarks are going to be, are your genitals covered up? Are your breasts and nipples covered up? Things of that nature.
Okay, I understand. I'm sorry, I came very unprepared. I had missed work today because I was hungover and I had worked 6 days last week. So I called in today and said, I need another day off for you. And I had just woke up and I saw you live and you had an invite link. So
Sure.
I clicked the link and I appreciate you allowing me on. And maybe one day in the future, we will have a more fruitful debate where I'm prepared.
Okay.
And
Well,
I
hey,
appreciate you taking my call, man.
no problem, Cyber Andy. You have a good one, man. Thanks. So at the beginning there, I was sort of I didn't realize he was serious. I thought it was like a joke topic. Then it became clear he's dead serious about this. I was like, oh, okay.